I never thought I'd become a crime scene, but here I am, 4 wooden legs, a mattress, and a secret that stains deeper than any spilled wine. People think beds are just furniture, but we're more like confessionals. We hold your weight, your dreams, your worst mistakes, and sometimes we're forced to cradle betrayal. I remember the first time they brought me home. The couple was laughing, arms tangled, hope heavy in the air. Their love was loud, messy, honest, the kind that left imprints in my springs. I was proud to be their sanctuary. I knew the rhythm of their happiness, the way their bodies curled together after long days, the soft apologies whispered into pillows. I thought I'd seen it all. But then, one night, the air changed. The laughter was gone, replaced by a nervous silence. She came in first, alone, her footsteps hesitant. He followed, but it wasn't him. Not the man who'd chosen me, not the one who'd built a life here. This new presence was heavier, his scent unfamiliar, his touch impatient. My sheets tensed. I wanted to scream, to shake them off, to warn her. He doesn't belong here. But I'm just a bed. I can only absorb. They didn't notice the way my frame creaked in protest. They didn't care that the room felt colder, that the shadows seemed to stretch longer. I felt every lie, every stolen breath, every promise broken in the dark. I wanted to believe it was a mistake, a bad dream that would fade with the sunrise. But the guilt lingered, seeping into my stuffing, poisoning the memories of love that once lived here. Now, every night I wait. I wait for the truth to come out, for the weight of secrets to finally break me. I wonder if he knows, if he senses the shift, the way she flinches when he touches her, the way I groan under the pressure of their silence. I wonder if I'm complicit, if by holding their bodies, I'm also holding their lies. Sometimes I wish I could forget. But I'm a bed. I remember everything. They say time heals all wounds, but what about the ones you can't see? What about the splinters in your soul? The stains that never wash out? Every night, since that betrayal, I've felt her guilt settle on me like dust. She tosses and turns, her body restless, her mind somewhere else. Sometimes she cries into the pillow, muffled sobs that soak through the fabric and into my core. I want to comfort her, to remind her of the warmth that once filled this room. But I'm just a silent witness, an accomplice with no voice. He still doesn't know. He lies beside her, breathing slow and steady, trusting. His hand reaches for hers in the dark, and for a moment I almost believe things could go back to the way they were. But then she pulls away, and the space between them grows colder, wider, impossible to bridge. I ache for them, for what they lost, for what I lost. I used to be a place of safety, of laughter, and lazy Sunday mornings. Now I'm a battlefield, scarred and silent. Sometimes, late at night, I imagine what would happen if I could speak. Would I shout the truth, tear the silence apart, force them to face what's festering beneath the sheets? Or would I keep their secret, hoping that forgiveness might someday find its way back into this room? I don't know. I only know that secrets are heavy, and I'm tired of carrying them alone. There are moments when I almost envy the old armchair in the corner. It only holds memories of quiet reading, of gentle naps in the afternoon sun. It doesn't know what it's like to be the stage for heartbreak, to feel love curdle into something sharp and sour. But then I remember, I was chosen for a reason. I was meant to hold them, to witness their lives, the good and the bad. Maybe that's my purpose. Maybe that's the price of being needed. But some nights, when the moonlight spills across the floor and the house is silent, I wonder if I'll ever be clean again, if I'll ever be more than the bed where it happened. And then, just as I start to drift into uneasy dreams, I hear footsteps in the hallway, hesitant, searching. The door creaks open. Someone stands in the doorway, silhouetted by the pale light. I brace myself, not knowing if this is the night everything changes, or if I'll be forced to hold one more secret, one more lie. Either way, I know I'll remember. I always do. The footsteps belong to him tonight. He stands there, just watching her sleep, his shadow stretching across my sheets. There's something different in the way he moves. Slower, heavier, as if he's carrying a question he's too afraid to ask. I feel his weight as he sits on the edge, the mattress dipping, the old springs groaning in protest. He doesn't touch her. He just sits, silent, lost in thought. I want to tell him everything. I want to confess, to spill the truth, like feathers from a torn pillow. But I can't. I'm trapped in this wooden frame, forced to hold the aftermath of choices I never made. I wonder if he suspects, if he's piecing together the puzzle from the way she avoids his eyes, the way she flinches at his touch. Or maybe he's just tired, tired of pretending, tired of hoping, tired of loving someone who's already gone. She stirs, sensing his presence. For a moment, their eyes meet in the dim light. There's a question hanging between them, thick and suffocating. I feel it settle into my seams, another secret to keep. She turns away, pulling the blanket tighter around her, building a wall he can't cross. He sighs, a sound so heavy it rattles through my frame. I remember when their sighs meant something else, relief, contentment, the end of a long day. Now, every sound is a reminder of what's been lost. I ache with the weight of their silence, the way it presses down on me night after night. Sometimes I wonder if I'm cursed, if every bed is doomed to become a graveyard for broken promises. Or maybe I'm just unlucky, chosen for a love story that turned sour, a witness to a tragedy that keeps replaying, night after night. He leaves before dawn, the mattress springing back, desperate to erase the shape of his sorrow. She wakes alone, her hand searching for warmth that isn't there. I hold her, as I always do, but it's not enough. It never is. I wish I could forget. I wish I could be just a bed again. But I can't. I remember everything, and I know, sooner or later, the truth will break through. Whether it's a whispered confession, a sudden outburst, or the slow, silent unraveling of trust, I'll be here, waiting, watching, remembering, because that's what beds do. We hold your secrets until you can't hold them anymore. Days blur into nights. The silence between them grows, thick as dust. I feel every tremor, every restless turn, every word left unsaid. The air is heavy with things neither of them dares to speak. I am their only witness, their only confessor. Then, one evening it happens. She sits on the edge of the bed, hands trembling, eyes red. He stands in the doorway, jaw clenched, holding a truth he can't swallow anymore. The room is electric, charged with fear, regret, and something like hope. I brace myself, my frame tense as if I could split in two from the pressure. She speaks first. Her voice is small, but it cuts through the silence like a knife. "I'm sorry," she whispers, and the words fall onto my sheets, staining them deeper than any secret. He doesn't move. For a moment, I think he might leave, that the weight of betrayal will finally crush us all. But he sits beside her. The mattress dips, the springs groan, and for the first time in months, they look at each other. Really, look. There's pain, yes, but also something raw and honest. I feel it in the way their hands find each other, hesitant but real. The truth is ugly, but it's out now, and the room feels lighter, as if a window has finally been opened. I realize then that I am not just a grave for broken promises. I am also a witness to forgiveness, to the possibility of healing. Maybe I'll never be clean again, never forget what happened here. But maybe that's not my curse. Maybe it's my purpose. As they sit together in the half-light, I hold them both, guilt, grief, hope, and all. I am the bed where it happened, and I will remember always. But tonight, for the first time in a long time, I feel something almost like peace.